Hello there, and welcome back to War Thunder, to the first battle in the Centauro. And this thing is amazing. I just bought it. I unlocked a few stuff with the golden eagles, obviously, but not everything. So there is a little bit of an excuse I can make for the driving, but not all of it. And also my shooting and ammo selection is not at its optimum, yet I managed to have a somewhat nice battle, and that is what I want to present you. After all the rant videos recently, I thought, let's just enjoy a nice battle. Once in a while I do this myself, and I just don't care about anything. Now, I bought this thing just hours before I came across the news that there is actually a discount, but the discount for the Italian vehicles is on the 1st of June, so I thought to myself, well, it doesn't really matter, I can unlock now more stuff. The second I am not in an SPA, I see helicopters everywhere. Well, I try my best, and then he spams missiles or rockets at long range, and I'm having none of this. I don't want to fall victim to a lucky shot of his, so I'm just getting the hell out of there, and I try to stay in cover from the left from the enemy tanks, and then make a quick crossing of the railway, and I just jump a little bit above this rock, or up on this rock, and now let's go into the city fight. Now, here we come across the advantage of this thing, and that is the speed on paved roads. Well, unsurprisingly, it's a real tank destroyer, so you expect it to be fast, but it's always a pleasure to experience this. I can't get enough of this in my Packwagen, in all of the tanks with wheels. And so we come across the first customer that just didn't expect us because we were operating behind enemy lines. I should have switched to the HESH shell or even to the heat shell, I know, or I should have aimed clean for the engine deck to punch through the entire length of the tank, but third time's the charm, as they say. So that's the first victim of the day, and we continue to operate behind enemy lines. So he didn't really drop an artillery strike, he didn't really kind of ping us, I hope, and so I think that I'm still kind of undetected. Now, the following situation is always pretty dangerous, since to the right and to the left there is the main road that leads up to C, which is a highly frequented road of the enemy team from their spawn zone to the main battle zone. But I could choose to go here spawn camping, but that's so lame. That's just only people that have no idea what they're doing or that have no balls do this. If you're a proper tanker, you just don't do this. So there is a Scorpion, and he just escaped unwillingly or unknowingly to himself, and I need to catch this guy because I know that he wants to flank around, and Scorpions are pretty sneaky. So yes, I saw the tank right there, and I saw the other tank right there, but I just leave them aside. I now think about it, but slowing down in this thing, because I don't have the brakes unlocked, takes way too long. And then I see that this guy saw me, so I have to disable him, and that was not my first choice. And now he actually pings me with the machine gun. Keep that in mind, because the second shot doesn't really kill him, and now I put the house between me and him, and now he smokes up. I wait a few seconds and then try to set him on fire again, and now I know that there is a high chance that the Scorpion has seen me on the map, but I have some plans with my machine guns. Right there I kill a dangerous enemy tank, and then I think to myself, well, I know exactly the position in the smoke, so I take a blind shot, and just millimeters I miss the turret ring. But he turns the turret, and so this is the chance for one of my teammates to get the kill on him, and we now potentially could go for C, which is really nice to have, helps a lot in the stock grind, etc, etc. But it's also dangerous because of the artillery strikes, because the enemy team just knows where you are. But gladly I'm joined with two other tanks. While this reduces the amount of silver line and RP that you get normally, it actually enhances the chance that you don't get blapped by anybody, because usually then the team members secure multiple angles, and that is just everybody's advantage. Also, everybody gets 300 spawn points, and no matter how much you participated in the capturing process. So this is very important if you're one of those rare guys that actually bother respawning, which I don't. And that has a long story for itself. And I thought to myself, well, there could be an enemy tank. What's this black thing there that is rendered while the rest of it is not rendered? Could be an enemy tank. I take the shot, but no source right there. And then I hear a plane, and so I ran willingly into this building, but he is actually not going for me, so I can actually go around there and hope for the best to come across an enemy and pull the trigger first. Have I ever mentioned how much a stabilizer is an advantage at this kind of battle rating? Combine this with the good mobility, there we go, and also the good ammunition when it works. You have a fantastic tank. And from my experience in the few games that I played, mainly with the APDS, that I previously hated on so much because of the years back when the first iteration of the L7s came with the Leopad 1, that is for the Germans, that shell was so bad. That was so bad. And, well, the accuracy was terrible. The reload was worse. The post-penetration damage was unreliable, and the stock line for the Leopard in the times of T10M, oh, it was horrible. And now you could see one shot clean through the engine of the enemy, and we got ourselves a nice kill on this Russian T-54 that usually from the front is a tough nut to crack for World War II tanks, but not so much for this one, right? And so I'm now going back and forth through the city, just seeking the fight, looking for enemy targets, but there are nowhere there to be found. So, strange. Helicopters and planes above, oh, that's really bad. Now, another thing that the tank is not really excelling is the gun depression, only 6 degrees and only 15 degrees of gun elevation. That's also not the best that there is. On the other hand, we actually can, in theory, shoot at the enemy with 2 Beretta MG42/59 machine guns. High rate of fire, of course. The problem is that the top mounted one actually seemingly doesn't elevate below the 15 degrees of gun elevation, which is really terrible, as is my driving right there. So I wanted to drive close to this wall because I thought that I could get a shot on this enemy tank, and now I try to free myself, but reverse driving, well, I'm not French, it has some issues, and cheeky shot at the plane, sadly no win, no hit, as with the machine guns. I think about reloading here some shells, but I don't really risk it, and another terrible driving here. Well, yeah, no excuses there. B gets decaptured. Okay, not a lot of friendly tanks are nearby. The T-54 just killed the Orbital, and I tried to go and find out what I can do. So it's an IS-6 actually, and ooh, that was forgiving, so good that I have a stabilizer. I switched to the heat just to make sure that I don't have any nasty surprises, and we get ourselves a juicy T-54 kill. Now again, operating here behind enemy lines. I just popped the smoke, so I am safe from shots from behind, because I can deal with stuff that is in front of me. And then this happens. I see the IS-6, he misses. I think his turret is blocked. I still have the heat loaded, and so I have all the time in the world to critically kill him or damage him. And with the next shot, come on, let's just finish this guy. Good stuff right there. And this is now another zone captured. Good. Third capture zone. That's always nice. And another good kill. So here I try to reload a little bit of the of the rounds. I have way too much ammunition with me, I know, but that's just how it works. So I think that's now enough APDS. I think I should go. Yep, and we do so. The advantage of such a tank is mobility, and then to come across the unexpected, to come across the tank that doesn't know that you're there, or just has some handling issues, remember, this is where the last World War II tanks are just in your battle rating bracket, or tanks that are based on World War II technology. They have very often slow turret rotation speed, very often no stabilizer, etc, etc. So you also have a massive handling advantage, and that just shows. Oh, you know, a lot of people say that I rant about a thing that is not German and love everything Axis, and the problem is that War Thunder has the tendency to underpower German tanks a lot. Not so much at top tier, but a lot of people also say Germany suffers when I make commentary about it. And I know that this is a meme going forth and back, but when there are proper arguments, you know, one should raise them. And so I can tell you that the stabilizer on an L7 gun on a highly mobile platform is just an absolute wonder machine. But don't think for a moment that this is making you invincible and unkillable, etc. No, this just helps you if you have fast reactions, if you go into a properly planned 1 versus 1, where in best cases the enemy is not even aware of you. There are many planes and helicopters that are happily going for you. There are many tanks, all of them, that actually can one-shot you, but with this one-shot capability, it's just so good to have here the stabilized gun. It's giving you a huge advantage. And now I got hit actually by an enemy tank, so I pop smoke, I move a little bit forward, and then I reverse and try to break here the lock, and I hear the shell whizzing by. Just like that, just like that. I could cut this out, but I think that was pretty funny. Not so much for the person that actually needs the ambulance. So yeah, it's getting hot. I guess there are many people that just don't do well in the heat. We're approaching 40 degrees Celsius here in Germany, especially in Bavaria. That's disgustingly hot. Yes, I know for you in Australia that's just a spring breeze. I know, but if you're used to cold winters and already not the coldest summers, let's put it that way, 40 degrees is still very hot, and it is absolutely disgusting. So I'm sorry about the background noise of the fan, but it's really hot. But yeah, is this thing overpowered? Well, it has the advantage, but it doesn't have a BMP2 autocannon. It's not a Bradley with the 25mm cannon, and I think that it is a good equilibrium to some of the other nations' light tanks. Think about the Object 906, etc. This thing just has the raw pen to go for, and for our 8 kills and 3 capture zones alongside a single kill assist, together with, well, winning the game, we got 75,000 civilians and 8,800 research points. First in team with 3,101 score point. The Survivor Award. What a great match. I absolutely love it. So I hope you enjoyed this match. I certainly did. And I hope that you enjoyed this for a change. And now I see, oh, there are discounts. And so I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a like if it did. Subscribe if you want to see more. And we'll see each other on the waves, in the skies, and on the battlefields of War Thunder.